They say it's not where you live, but who you live with that's important. But what if you and your partner are at loggerheads over where to spend your future, and that's threatening to ruin your relationship? Having arrived in the UK 15 years ago, Shari Atkins now desperate to return to Australia.
And as much as home is here now, there's a part of my heart in Australia.
But husband Kerry can't bear to leave the life he loves in the UK.
They're a family, they're friends, they're the finances, you know, the reality of it all.
After years of indecision, a trial week down under's crunch time for Shari's dream and marriage.
If Kerry voted to stay in the UK, that's kind of putting a bit of a nail in our coffin, because I think I'll be done with waiting.
The flattest and lowest landmass on Earth, Australia is a nation people have called home for over 40,000 years. Offering stunning landscapes and a fabulous climate, in more recent times it's been considered a land of plenty for British families on the move, with recent figures showing an estimated 34,000 people emigrate there every year. When Shari Atkins arrived in the UK from Australia in 2001 as a fresh-faced traveller, it was always planned as a temporary trip. 15 years on, however, despite repeated promises from husband Kerry to make the move down under, she's still living in Wales, and the issues putting their marriage under pressure. Now, Shari has 1 week to convince Kerry to follow her home or face the possibility of losing her forever. The couple's return trip to Australia starts with a flight from London to Dubai and then on to Perth. And after almost 18 hours in the sky, Kerry's exhausted when they finally touch down.
The journey was very long, didn't get much sleep.
Shari's delighted to be back on Aussie soil.
I'm just excited to be home, to be fair, and just looking forward to getting back into it and showing Kerry kind of the lifestyle that he could potentially have here with me.
But he's more anxious than excited.
I'm pretty nervous, a bit of pressure on me this week. Yeah, I'm hoping everything goes well and, you know, all the things that we see kind of, you know, take us in the right direction.
Their emotions may be conflicting, but the couple agree on the importance of the next 7 days.
There's a lot riding on this week.
Yeah, there's a massive amount riding on this week. I guess it's us at the end of the day that's riding on this week.
Pretty much.
As the couple head out into Perth, they're all too aware their marriage could be on the line if they can't agree come the end of the week. Back in the UK, Kerry and Shari Atkins live in Chepstow in South Wales. Born in Australia, Shari was considering travelling the world when in 2001, the flip of a coin changed her future forever.
Came up heads and I literally walked out the door, I went straight to the closest travel agent and booked a one-way flight to the UK.
5 years later, Shari was just 6 months from returning home when she met Kerry. Their first date didn't start well.
I was over an hour late.
Hour and a half.
Okay, hour and a half.
But having hit it off, Shari temporarily delayed her return to Australia, on the understanding if Kerry remained in her life, he'd eventually go with her.
I pretty much told him from the word go that if, you know, anybody who was going to be with me would have to realise that at some point I'm going back, and hopefully that they would want to come with me, but it was a non-negotiable deal.
I kind of didn't really think much about it, to be honest. Didn't really contemplate such a huge thing.
When the couple decided to tie the knot 3 years later, Kerry promised Shari a future down under.
When we got engaged, Kerry had said that we would, at some point in the future, move back to Australia. It would be part of the deal, part of the engagement package. And yeah, I just always thought that it would be part of our future at some point.
The couple took a trip to Shari's home country in 2012, but if she was hoping to use it to persuade Kerry to make the move, her plan didn't work out. Almost 15 years after she arrived in the UK, she's now longing to go home.
It's something to do with feeling home, and as much as home is here now, there's a part of my heart in Australia.
But despite his earlier promises, Kerry still can't commit to the life his wife wants.
She can just flip a coin and make a decision based on that. Whereas I'm much more considered. I need to be on the way to 100% certain that these things are going to, this is going to work for us.
A fan of outdoor pursuits, Kerry has concerns about a move.
I'd need to be confident that there was a job there for both of us. I'd need to know that we could afford a house, to know that we could at least match the kind of life that we have in the UK, and also that I could fit into the lifestyle.
He's also wavering at the thought of leaving family in the UK.
I do love them very much, and it'd be a real struggle for me, I think.
The prospect of saying goodbye to ageing grandparents is especially tough.
I'd really miss them, obviously, but it's just, not knowing, whether I would actually see them again, and that's really difficult.
9 years since their first conversations about Australia, Shari's running out of patience. And she's so desperate to return home, she's even contemplating going on her own.
Threatening to leave Kerry and leave our relationship and leave everything we've got built up here, it's nobody wants to do that. But I've realised that that's I've got to give it a go. So that's where it's come from. Sorry.
The couple now face a week that will make or break their relationship, as Shari gives trying to convince Kerry to follow her home one last shot.
It was always part of the deal that we would do it one day. I've been open and honest about wanting to go back since day one, and I think it's fair.
Blatantly, I've not come through on my promise. I do feel bad about that.
Just giving it a go, that's all I'm asking. Not the world, just give it a go. Be fair.
I know.
Shari and Kerry are spending their trial week in the coastal port of Fremantle, just 12 miles from central Perth in Western Australia. Their temporary home is a one-bedroom cottage on a leafy street close to the beach. But will it live up to Shari's memories of Australian living?
What do you reckon?
Hi honey, I'm home.
Happy so far then?
Finally here.
Oh wow.
The quirky interiors of this former fisherman's cottage appeal to Shari straight away.
I could live in something like this, I'd be very happy.
Yes.
But Kerry's not so sure.
It's like kind of not Australian, but I don't know, you know what I mean? It's
probably not what you're expecting, no.
Yeah, exactly.
The kitchen isn't quite what he expected either.
I don't know, it's sort of open plan, but it's not quite what I guess we were thinking maybe, but I really like it.
No, it's awesome, and a nice backyard.
Yeah.
It's not huge, but Shari quickly spots something that should appeal to Kerry.
Shed.
Yeah.
Off you go.
Yeah, I know where I'm sleeping.
Hopefully it won't come to that. After checking out the rest of the house, the couple appear happy with everything they've seen so far.
It's a lovely place. It's very homely, very quirky. It's a good start.
I just can't wait to get out and rediscover it all and remind myself of how actual good it is.
But as they make themselves at home, Shari's enthusiasm for being back on home turf is already unsettling Kerry.
There is a bit of pressure there for me to kind of like things and want to feel the same way. But I've got to look at it with a clear mind and see what I think and see what's possible.
After years spent longing to be back home, Shari knows the week ahead is critical if she and Kerry are to have a future.
A decision has to be made one way or the other. I know ultimately that I want to be here and I'd like Kerry to be, but if he chooses not to, then, well, I guess we'll just have to cross that bridge when we come to it. Hopefully not, so.
Are you with me?
Back in the UK, home for Shari and Kerry is a 2-bedroom mid-terrace cottage in Chepstow, South Wales.
We've worked really, really hard to get it exactly how we like it. It was our first home as a married couple, so, you know, it has great importance to us.
Still, Shari's prepared to give it up to return to the country where she was born. And if she does persuade Kerry to join her, the couple agree on the kind of house they'd like next.
Oh, I would love a big backyard. A small house on a big piece of land.
3 bedrooms would be great.
Shed for you.
Yeah, a shed or a garage.
Close to the beach. In an ideal world, it would also be quite close to some wooded areas,
Wow.
so you could go off and do some biking.
But there's a difference of opinion on whether their £330,000 budget can get them the perfect property.
I think there's a dream property for that kind of money out there.
But I think in Australian terms, with Australian wages, probably lower-ish
Okay.
rung.
To find out what kind of house they could actually have, today we'll show Kerry and Shari 3 properties. 2 based on their budget and a third which could be their dream home. Only after they've seen each one will they find out what it costs. House hunting gets underway in Bayswater, just over 3 miles northeast of central Perth. Stretching along the banks of the Swan River, the area offers plenty of open space for running and cycling, so could be perfect for Kerry. But will it be the house to persuade him to make Shari's wish to return home come true?
Seen this garage?
I know, it's brilliant.
That's one thing off the wish list. Hopefully inside won't disappoint.
Oh, this is nice, isn't it? Nice open plan. Straight into the lounge.
Expecting that, actually.
Kerry doesn't sound sold.
I like the layout, but
Yeah.
I'm not so keen on the look of the kitchen.
Oh, that's okay. That can be changed, can't it? Okay.
Yeah, true.
Shari's determined to sell Aussie homes. At first, the spacious master bedroom helps her case.
Wow. Oh, it's beautiful.
Hey, that's not a bad size, is it?
That's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
But on further inspection,
It's kind of weird, sort of, for me, having a bedroom at the front of the house.
Well,
Yeah.
British houses are all quite upstairs, downstairs, aren't they? So
Yeah,
Aussie
you're
houses are a bit more kind of, you always have the bedrooms at the
Yeah.
front.
the layout might take some getting used to, but with 3 good-sized bedrooms, the house offers the space the couple want. The bathroom, though, shows less promise.
It's kind of
a
the
bit
only...
disappointing,
It is a
really,
bit
isn't it?
disappointing. It doesn't
Yeah.
fit well with the house, I don't think.
It may not be the stuff dreams are made of, but moving outside, the huge garden's a big hit with Shari.
Whoa, that is awesome.
No way. This is brilliant. This is, like, exceeding my expectations at the moment.
An additional space for bikes and sporting equipment almost leaves Kerry speechless.
If this fits with the budget we've got in mind, wow.
Would you move in tomorrow? I'm not joking.
I know you're not joking. I know you're not joking.
It's the first place they've seen, but this could be the house to tempt Kerry to swap Chepstow for Perth, if their £330,000 budget would be enough to buy it. Time to find out.
Whoa, £343,200.
That is amazing.
Okay, it's over our budget.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not that much over.
That's really impressive.
That's promising, isn't it?
Really impressive.
Yeah.
Just over £13,000 over budget hasn't dented the couple's enthusiasm, and encouraged, they move on to view the second property of the day. It's situated in Carron-up, a well-established suburb 15 minutes drive from the city.
Properties along here are not cheap.
Oh, it's by the coast. It's going to be...
Coast is there, right there.
Close to one of Perth's most popular beaches, the area should appeal to Shari, and plenty of green areas suited to running and cycling make it perfect for Kerry too. But will this 3-bedroom cottage be somewhere the Atkins could make themselves at home?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. This is quite a nice little sitting room, isn't it? A front lounge. It's much bigger than ours.
Yeah,
And
huge compared
it's
to ours, yeah.
really nicely decorated.
The recently renovated interiors have plenty of charm, and the master bedroom wins Shari over too.
really, really nicely done,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Unlike the last house, though, the bedrooms here aren't as big on space, but Sharry's not too bothered.
The rooms might be a little bit smaller, but I think it's quite nice because you've got the character of the property in it. They're not just boxes.
Yeah.
The house offers the open-plan living Australian properties are coveted for, but it's the furniture and fittings that get Sharry and Kerry's attention.
The decor, everything in here is absolutely beautiful.
Really cool, isn't it?
The bathroom's also been updated.
Wow.
But it's not quite to their taste.
Corner bath, not so keen on that myself, but
Looks like it's a jacuzzi. Again, not so keen, but, but it's nice to have. It's a
Yeah.
feature.
Wandering outside, Kerry's further underwhelmed in the garden.
Right, you got a house right there.
But look at this.
Yeah.
This space is beautiful.
But I was expecting maybe maybe a little bit of greenery.
But think, no mowing the lawns. So there's no gardening you don't have to do.
Sharry's skillfully keeping Kerry on side. Now all they need to do is find out how much this house costs. Their budget is £330,000.
I reckon this is going to be like 400,000.
Yeah, I'm going to go 440.
Yeah.
Let's see if anyone's right.
Oh my God, 353.
Don't forget about the 600.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, I wish that was kind of nearer to 300, but then we were expecting 400, so that's a really good surprise, isn't it?
Good way to think of it. No, I'm really impressed with that price.
£23,000 over budget, cheaper than they thought. With the right jobs and salary, this house could be within reach. To see the final property, the couple head for Double View. 6 miles northwest of central Perth and less than 2 miles from the beach, this thriving suburb offers a good compromise between beach and city living.
They're huge though, aren't they, some of these?
They're huge.
I don't think any of these can be for us, surely.
We think this immaculately presented 3-bedroom house could be the couple's dream home. Will they agree?
I mean, it's sort of a bit terracotta. I'm not sure about the style of it.
It's lacking curb appeal for Kerry. Will the interiors be more desirable?
Here we go. Okay.
It's a little bit more bright and airy in here than I thought it was going to be.
Wow.
First impressions are all right, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the layout's a bit weird with the furniture, but then that's furniture.
Moving into the heart of the home, the main living area has plenty to offer.
This is good though. Look at this space.
Brilliant area, isn't it?
Yeah.
Open plan, looking out onto the garden as well, which is cool.
The interiors are modern and fresh, but Sharry has a slight concern.
I must admit, looking at the kitchen, bit small.
Yeah, I was going to say, kitchen's not massive, but the fact it's kind of open doesn't matter so much, maybe.
The couple can see potential here, but the main family bathroom proves distinctly average.
It's not a wow factor, but it's just
No.
it's nice, it's
Practical.
tidy, it's practical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does the job.
Yeah.
The house also has plenty of rooms for guests.
What do you think of this as a main bedroom though?
It's a good size, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a really good size, and you've got some really good views out the window as well.
Inside is evoking mixed reactions, and outside,
Good jacuzzi.
Or a very, very tiny swimming pool. Yeah.
the manicured north-facing secret garden is perfect for entertaining, but not quite what Kerry or Sharry was expecting.
It's quite
Interesting.
weird, that sunken
Yeah.
feeling, but again, it is quite private, but I'm not too sure about it.
It may not be Sharry or Kerry's dream home after all, but with all the space they need, is it somewhere they could afford on their £330,000 budget?
Let's have a look.
Ready?
Yeah.
£379, 700.
That's around £50,000 over budget.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I think this is all about location. If we were going to go nearly 50k over our budget, I'd want it to be a bit nicer than this.
I was probably expecting a bit more for this kind of price as well.
Yeah.
But then I guess, you know, you're trading off
Location.
against location because
Yeah.
it's very near to the ocean and nearer to the city centre as well.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't the perfect property, but overall, house hunting has given Sharry and Kerry plenty to consider. Property 1 was almost perfect, with the huge garden Shari dreams of and the shed Kerry longs for. The interiors of property 2 won both Kerry and Shari over, and despite initial reservations about the garden, Kerry could see himself settling in. The location of property 3 was perfect, but at almost £50,000 over budget, the house fell short of being the couple's dream home. So will the day have done enough to make both Shari and Kerry pick Australian properties over the house they already have in the UK?
Our vote is... Australia! Woo! That's good.
I'm really impressed with the houses we've seen today.
Even I'm quite impressed with what we could potentially afford here.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really stoked you chose Australia.
Cool.
A vote for Australia from Kerry means Shari's crusade is off to a flying start. But if she's to keep him by her side, laying his job concerns to rest will be crucial. Back home, Kerry enjoys his work as a programme manager, looking after aircraft equipment repair contracts.
It'd be really important for me to find something that is akin to what I do in the UK.
Shari's been running her own company, providing public relations for utility companies for the past 3 years. But she's prepared to give it all up to move back home.
Ideally, I'd love to continue working for myself in Australia. However, I am quite open to the fact that I haven't got contacts behind me, so I might have to work for somebody else for a change. But I'm quite excited about something new, really.
Kerry, on the other hand, isn't as flexible.
I think it would be really hard for me to consider a move without having the ability to see that I could get a good job and a good wage in Australia.
As the couple prepare to gauge work prospects in Perth, Shari's anxious about how much the day really means for her and Kerry.
If things don't go to plan, then that's, you know, ultimately might be the end for us, and that's a horrible thought.
We've arranged for Kerry to meet Amy Nichols, an executive consultant in the recruitment department of one of Australia's largest transport logistics companies. After a look around one of the warehouses, Kerry's ready to talk business.
You've seen my CV. I'd like to know whether I have transferable skills that could work for this company.
Absolutely. The industry that you worked in is quite specialised, but the skills that you have in that role are quite generic and transferable.
That's really put my mind at rest. I was really concerned about that.
That's just what Kerry needed to hear. Hopefully the outlook will be as promising for Shari. She'd like to gain some experience in the local market before possibly setting up her own business. So we've arranged for her to meet Peter Harris, Managing Director of a global public relations consultancy. Shari welcomes the opportunity to look around. And when Peter shows her through to his office, she's keen to explore her chances of securing a job here.
Do you have any sort of placements available for something like that?
At the moment, there isn't any specific placements, but I would say that someone of your experience and skill sets, I believe you'd have a very strong chance of securing employment in that particular sector in WA.
That is absolutely brilliant news.
Shari might not walk into a job straight away, but knowing she'd make a desirable employee is encouraging news. Back at the logistics company, Kerry's discovered while the aviation industry in Perth is relatively small, other options are available.
I would see you in the future looking to get towards like a project management role.
Okay.
However, you might have to take a bit of a step back to get some of your Australian experience, understand the culture and the way that they work out here.
Could I use a particular role as a kind of stepping stone?
Say a project coordinator, for example, in logistics, maybe heavy haulage. That could be a really good foot in the door for you.
Okay, that sounds really interesting actually.
Kerry is encouraged, but would the potential salary for a junior role be as promising?
If you went into like a project coordinator role, 40 to 45,000, you'd probably looking at 60,000 plus for a project manager, pounds.
That's a really impressive wage actually.
Kerry earns around £38,000 in his current job, so even though he'd be doing a different role down under, his prospects look good. Meanwhile, having discovered working hours in Perth would be similar to back home, Shari's investigating her earning potential as an employee.
The starting point for someone with your experience, I would suggest, would be in the approximate range of 57 to 60,000 pounds, but then increasing as you gain further experience of the local marketplace.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really do appreciate it.
Outside, Shari admits the salary makes working for someone else an attractive option.
It was almost double what I earn in the UK for what seemed sort of similar hours, and the conditions were brilliant, so that was a real plus for me.
And when she reunites with Kerry, Shari's relieved to hear he's had a good day too.
It went really well, actually.
Yeah.
The good thing is my skills are transferable.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, they talked about project coordinator role, so it wouldn't be doing exactly the same thing, but I'd be looking at maybe sort of similar to what I'm earning in the UK.
Okay.
Okay, so, you know, not as great as I was hoping for.
Right.
That would be, like I say, a stepping stone.
It's been positive all round, but will Kerry's on-the-ground research be enough to see him fly the Australian flag when it comes to choosing between work at home or away?
Today was a really important day, finding out about job prospects in Australia, and now it's time to vote. Australia!
Woo! Awesome! I didn't think you'd go that.
Well, I may have to take a step down in Australia initially, but, you know, I really want this to work for us, and if I need to make some compromises, then, you know, I think I can. I think I can do that.
Yay!
Yeah.
Bowled over by Perth's properties and buoyed by potential job opportunities, one by one, Kerry's concerns are being laid to rest. So will experiencing the Australian lifestyle Shari's longing to return to be enough to tempt him further? The couple enjoy an outdoor lifestyle in the UK, but with Shari keen to add water sports to their repertoire, the pair head to Lake Leshanoltia in Chidlow to start their day with some canoeing.
How you doing? Good, thanks. There you go.
1 hour canoe hire?
Yeah, please, yeah.
After a quick safety briefing, the couple are ready to go.
Here we go.
You ready?
Yeah.
Just 45 minutes from the city, this former railway dam is the perfect place to enjoy some time on the water. Kerry looks like he could have found a new sport.
We do canoeing in the UK, but the weather's fantastic. It's autumn, so it's, you know, it's really matching up quite nicely at the moment.
And Shari looks right at home.
It just reinforces what I've always, you know, remembered Australia to be.
Next, the pair hit the popular mountain biking trails of nearby Pauls Valley. Kerry's an avid mountain biker back home, but Shari's hoping today will convince him there's plenty of scope for cycling down under, and it looks like she could be in luck.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The trails in UK are fantastic, but these are great too. It's just beautiful out here today.
Yeah.
You know, I can't really have a bad word to say about it, you know. Don't push me off.
The afternoons worked wonders on Kerry, and as the couple round off their day with a picnic on Gooseberry Hill, Shari admits she's more determined than ever to come home.
If Kerry chooses not to want to come back, I will be gutted, because this is, you know, it is everything that I want for us.
But as the sun sets over Perth, it could yet be setting on her dream.
These aren't just the things that I have to consider. They're family, they're friends, they're the finances, you know, the reality of it all.
The couple face some tough decisions come the end of the week, but has the lifestyle seduced Kerry into choosing Australia over the UK?
After an awesome day doing activities that we both love, our vote today will be so happy that you've gone down the Oz route for that, because I was actually concerned that as much as you love today, it wouldn't be enough to convince you.
It was great. It was just absolutely great. And just today is kind of like starting to underline that we can, you know, potentially have a life in Australia that can match up equally or if not better than the UK. So,
Yay! Cool.
Yeah.
Kerry's consistent votes for Australia are Shari's clearest signal yet. She could soon return home with her husband by her side. But she still needs to prove the move won't rob them of financial stability. If she succeeds, the couple hope to sell their house in Wales for around £150,000. We've arranged for valuations from 2 estate agents to see if that's achievable.
Oh, no. Door.
Sticky front door.
Oh wow, lovely room. Nice bright,
okay.
nice floor.
Positive.
Yeah.
Oh, nice space. This is really impressive. They're often quite small in these older houses, but this is lovely. And they've done a good job with the decor. It can be a bit dark, but they've really made it nice and light with these colour schemes. Very impressed.
Oh, what a nice garden. Really pleasant. Courtyard garden, plenty of storage space. Really nice.
Ah, the main bedroom. That's a nice space as well. Like the fact that it's south facing, a lot of sun. It's onto the road, so maybe a bit of noise, but it is double glazed.
This is sounding good, isn't it?
Lovely tasteful bathroom, really modern, updated. Very, very nice indeed, everything that you could want. In the current market, I would value this property at £166,500, and for a quick sale, I would value the property for £166,000.
Oh,
That's
that was a
great.
quick sale.
Yeah.
On the open market today, I'd value this property at £185,000, and for a quick sale, I'd say £174,000.
No! That is awesome. That is seriously awesome.
Oh my God.
To have that kind of, you know, cash behind us and stuff is
180.
I know.
That's incredible.
Valuations exceeding expectations is a good start. The couple sit down to work out how much living in Australia would really cost, beginning with their weekly food shop.
Milk is cheaper.
Yep.
By £1 almost.
Greens, vegetables seem to be a little bit more expensive here.
Eggs.
Eggs more expensive. Tuna's a lot more
wow.
expensive. Chopped tomatoes are way more expensive. That's weird, isn't it?
The items add up to reveal they would spend around £10 more on groceries every week. Next, the couple move on to the bigger bills, basing their mortgage repayment on the first property they viewed.
Wow, that's a significant cost. It'd be £1,000 more a month on mortgage.
But I guess at the end of the day,
We're upgrading,
aren't we?
yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, that's a significant jump, isn't it?
Fortunately, there are some savings to be made elsewhere.
Gas and electricity
Cheaper
look.
here.
Well, gas is. Electricity's more. Car running costs, they're kind of the same.
Gym membership's the same. I'm actually could get rid of that because I can spend a lot of time outside, so that's all good.
Shari's desperate to make the sums work in her favour.
Our monthly cost would then be... Ooh.
4166.
That's £828 more than they spend in the UK every month.
That's not good.
No, it's not good.
Everything now rests on the couple's potential salaries down under.
Okay, so in Australia, our wages we combined £5,887.
Okay.
And in the UK, they are £5,058.
Wow.
That's £829 more in Australia. And when they factor in those bigger bills, they're back in the black.
So we would be £1 whole pound better off here.
Okay.
£12 a year better off might not be life-changing, but Shari's just relieved to prove they can afford the lifestyle she wants.
Can I do it? I told you so. 9 years it's taken me to prove this to you.
Look, I can see this now. This is starting to dawn on me that actually we can have an
Better house.
upgrade
I know.
A backyard, a man cave, more lifestyle. Need I say any more? No brainer. Surely.
I can't argue with this with you on this, can I? Really, it's there in black and white.
It's a great outcome for Shari, but will the figures have done enough to put Kerry on the same page when it comes to choosing between finances in Australia or the UK?
It's now time to vote. There's still a hell of a lot going on in my mind, as you...
I can see that, yeah. No.
But, I can't argue with you any longer or stick my head in the sand. It's like...
Yes! Convinced the finances can work, Shari's attempts at selling her homeland to Kerry seem to be paying off. But there's still one final fence to clear. As the couple sit down to watch messages from loved ones at home, Shari knows this could be the thing that keeps Kerry rooted to the UK.
So, are we ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Hi, Kerry and Shari. Hope you're well and having a fab time in Australia.
Hello, Kerry and Shari.
Oh.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hope you're having an amazing time.
Hope the sun is shining.
And hi from Austin. Hi. They bounce off each other, both full of energy. Brilliant couple.
Kerry as a man today is very caring, but I don't think you could meet a nicer man.
Oh.
Shari is great. She's really welcoming. She's very friendly. I think it must be kind of the Australian-ness in her.
Shari is one of the best friends you could possibly ask for.
It's important that Kerry does what he wants to do, not just for Shari, but for himself.
He was my first grandchild, you see, so he's always been that little bit special. He also really upset himself before he goes.
Kerry and Shari, you probably mean more to me than you know you do, but at the same time, I think this is an incredible opportunity for you, and
Good work, Bambi.
I think you should go for it.
I'm going to miss you guys more than you can believe, but I truly want you to be happy.
Shari, I think we already know you've made up your mind, so Kerry, this is down to you, mate. We will miss you.
I just want you to know that whatever you decide, then I am 100% happy.
Well, Kerry and Shari, I shall miss you very, very much. And you know how much I love you.
Yeah. Likewise.
Oh, bless you, Gran. That was quite a hard watch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, sorry.
They're not going to go away. We're not going to lose them.
It's going to be a real big thing to overcome, I think, for me. I knew it was going to be difficult. I didn't know quite
how difficult.
Difficult it was seeing them, and...
Well, this is always going to be the hardest bit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Always.
The prospect of leaving family has always been a stumbling block for Kerry, and actually hearing heartfelt messages from home has only magnified his concerns. After being consistently sold on Australia all week, will his strong emotional ties to the UK now see Shari's dream for their future unravel? When they arrived a week ago, Shari was on a mission to convince her husband they could make a great life for themselves in her native country. And the last 7 days have shown plenty of potential.
I felt exceptionally at home. It's reinforced everything that I believed about Australia. It's been a brilliant week. It's been so, so good.
I've had some awesome experiences this week. It has shown me that, there could be a life here for us.
Kerry's voted Australia throughout the week, but the reality of putting half a world between him and everyone he loves back home is playing on his mind.
I've got a fantastic wife that I love very much, but I've also got family in the UK, and I am and always will be a Brit that loves the UK, and it's a real dilemma for me, this.
I think watching the friends and family clips has really kind of dented him a little bit and kind of made him really question what he will be leaving behind.
Having rediscovered life on her home turf, Shari's more determined than ever to get the life she wants.
I want this so much. I don't want it to get back into the situation of what we had before, of, you know, it's just forgotten about and then we're kind of back to where we are because, you know, it's been 9 years and it's been hard.
A flip of a coin almost 15 years ago meant Shari met the man of her dreams. Now a turn of flags will decide if she has a future with him.
I love her so much, and I know she's hoping for a good decision from me, and you know, I know I've got to go with my own decision here, but I don't want to lose her. Whatever decision I make, I don't want to lose her.
If Kerry voted to stay in the UK, that's kind of putting a bit of a nail in our coffin because I can't wait around forever. I think I'll be done with waiting. Sorry.
It's crunch time for the couple as Shari ultimately finds out if she'll be moving home with or without her husband by her side.
After 9 years and a trial week in Perth, our decision is Australia! Did you really? Oh, that's awesome. I'm just absolutely relieved, actually, that you chose to go to Australia. I think it's awesome. I'm really excited.
The thought of leaving my family in the UK and then the thought of leaving the UK full stop just completely tears me up. Seeing it with my own eyes and kind of experiencing it all with you has just made me realise, like, this will make me happy as much as it make you happy.
It just means the world.
It means the world to me too.
I know.
You mean the world to me.
Oh, bless you.
It's been a long time coming, but 9 years after the first discussions about Australia, the waiting is finally over for Shari, as Kerry commits once and for all to her dream of returning home. We wish them a long and happy future as they prepare to start a brand new life down under together. They say it's not where you live, but who you live with that's important. But what if you and your partner are at loggerheads over where to spend your future, and that's threatening to ruin your relationship? Having arrived in the UK 15 years ago, Shari Atkins now desperate to return to Australia.
And as much as home is here now, there's a part of my heart in Australia.
But husband Kerry can't bear to leave the life he loves in the UK.
They're a family, they're friends, they're the finances, you know, the reality of it all.
After years of indecision, a trial week down under's crunch time for Shari's dream and marriage.
If Kerry voted to stay in the UK, that's kind of putting a bit of a nail in our coffin because I think I'll be done with waiting.
The flattest and lowest landmass on Earth, Australia is a nation people have called home for over 40,000 years. Offering stunning landscapes and a fabulous climate, in more recent times it's been considered a land of plenty for British families on the move, with recent figures showing an estimated 34,000 people emigrate there every year. When Shari Atkins arrived in the UK from Australia in 2001 as a fresh-faced traveller, it was always planned as a temporary trip. 15 years on, however, despite repeated promises from husband Kerry to make the move down under, she's still living in Wales, and the issues putting their marriage under pressure. Now, Shari has 1 week to convince Kerry to follow her home or face the possibility of losing her forever. The couple's return trip to Australia starts with a flight from London to Dubai and then on to Perth. And after almost 18 hours in the sky, Kerry's exhausted when they finally touch down.
The journey was very long, didn't get much sleep.
Shari's delighted to be back on Aussie soil.
I'm just excited to be home, to be fair, and just looking forward to getting back into it and showing Kerry kind of the lifestyle that he could potentially have here with me.
But he's more anxious than excited.
I'm pretty nervous, a bit of pressure on me this week. Yeah, I'm hoping everything goes well and, you know, all the things that we see kind of, you know, take us in the right direction.
Their emotions may be conflicting, but the couple agree on the importance of the next 7 days.
There's a lot riding on this week.
Yeah, there's a massive amount riding on this week. I guess it's us at the end of the day that's riding on this week.
Pretty much.
As the couple head out into Perth, they're all too aware their marriage could be on the line if they can't agree come the end of the week. Back in the UK, Kerry and Shari Atkins live in Chepstow in South Wales. Born in Australia, Shari was considering travelling the world when in 2001 the flip of a coin changed her future forever.
Came up heads and I literally walked out the door, I went straight to the closest travel agent and booked a one-way flight to the UK.
5 years later, Shari was just 6 months from returning home when she met Kerry. Their first date didn't start well.
I was over an hour late.
Hour and a half.
Okay, hour and a half.
But having hit it off, Shari temporarily delayed her return to Australia, on the understanding if Kerry remained in her life, he'd eventually go with her.
I pretty much told him from the word go that if, you know, anybody who was going to be with me would have to realise that at some point I'm going back and hopefully that they would want to come with me, but it was a non-negotiable deal.
I kind of didn't really think much about it, to be honest.